So now that you have had an opportunity to review the feedback on your topic proposals, it's now time for us to begin the second step of the research paper process, and that's the creation of the annotated bibliography. Now this might be a term that's new to some of you, and you might be wondering what exactly is an annotated bibliography. It's a way of organizing your notes as you do research, and very simply put, an annotated bibliography provides you with citation information, that's the bibliography portion, and then information about the source, and those are your annotations. Incorporating this at the beginning of your writing process whenever you work with research is extremely helpful to you, because then you're able to narrow your focus and have your citations created before you sit down to write. As far as the details for this assignment, 4 annotated entries are due on September 13th, and of course they're due at 9 p.m. to turnitin.com. Now these entries, or these resources, are not necessarily the sources that you might use for your final paper, but we hope that they will give you some practice on proper MLA citation. They'll show evidence of your active research, and they can really help to refine the focus of your paper. Be aware that your research focus may shift a little bit as you begin to really read and explore your topic. So if that begins to change, or you think I really want to go in a different direction, that is absolutely fine. Okay. I want you to begin with your topic proposal, and so I want you to look at the comments or notes that I made on your topic proposal on turnitin.com. This is a chance for you to begin to revise that. You can adjust your phrasing or your sentence structure, and I will say that I saw lots of sentences that would need to be refined before they would be really, final product ready. And remember that the topic proposal will eventually become the basis of your preliminary thesis statement. So you really want that to be a strong statement. You're required to have 4 sources. And so let's go through the 4 sources that you have to have. Your primary source, of course, is your novel, Jane Eyre. You need 1 additional book source that can be from any library. So if you go to the Louisville Free Public Library, that's fine. Of course, books here at our Sacred Heart Library are fine as well. You have to have 1 item from an electronic database, so that includes GaleNet or EBSCOhost or Facts on File. And then you get 1 source of your choice, so you can use a second book. You can use another article from an electronic database. If you have a credible website, such as the British Library or BBC or the Victorian Web. You can also use a non-print text source. So if you find a really great documentary about the Victorians that perhaps is produced by the History Channel or produced by the BBC, you can certainly use that as well. As far as the formatting, remember that it will be typed and double-spaced. You'll have the correct MLA citation for each source, and you really want to pay attention to punctuation and spacing. And so I'm going to draw your attention to this example. So notice that you have the title here centered. You have your first full MLA citation. Please remember, girls, that the second line of your citation is always indented. And then this right here, these are your annotations. This is an indented paragraph, so please note that it's not just the first line that's indented. The entire thing is. It's written in third person. You're required to include at least 1 integrated quote so that you can practice parenthetical citation. And I'm going to expect at least 2 or 3 sentences here. And then when you're finished with that annotation, you come down to the second full MLA citation and you begin again. And of course these MLA citations will be in alphabetical order. So what do you include in that annotation? Under each entry, so under each works cited entry, this is your formal third-person interest in the source. I encourage you to go beyond general summary. Be detailed and specific by referencing the connection to your thesis or topic idea and how you're going to use this. So what information not only do you find, but how are you beginning to see the role of women in Victorian society? How are you beginning to make those connections to Jane Eyre, perhaps? For the primary source, You will want to focus on the aspects of the novel that apply specifically to your topic. If you have not come across an instance yet in Jane Eyre that you believe specifically will apply, you may want to make some predictions here about Jane's relationship and how Jane might be evolving and emerging as a narrative event. And we can talk about that more if you want. Each annotation, as I said, should be about 2 to 3 sentences in length. Now, how is this going to help you? Well, your citations are complete. You're required to have 4 sources, even if you don't end up using all 4 sources that are on your annotated bib. My guess is at least 2 or 3 of them will end up being in your final paper, and your works cited page then is finished, and that's amazing. You also begin to learn more about your topic, and that's really going to help narrow your research focus. Right now I feel like we're still pretty broad in our research, and so this helps to refine that a little bit. And then some of the paraphrases or direct quotations that you use from your resources could end up in your paper. So this is really a great time for you to begin exploring more in depth and knowing that all of this is going to help your final product of the research paper.